Gentlemen, if you're over 60, listen closely. What robs men of their erections isn't always age. More often, it's the small, everyday habits you brush aside. A single wrong choice repeated for years can strip away intimacy, confidence, and even point toward hidden dangers like heart disease or stroke. I've watched too many men lose their spark not because their bodies gave up, but because they ignored the warnings until it was almost too late. My name is Dr. Jonathan Prescott. I'm a board-certified urologist with more than 3 decades of experience walking beside men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, men who thought their best years were behind them until we made the right changes. What I share today isn't theory. It's science, lived experience, and the real stories of men who turned back the clock. Now, before we dive into the 10 things you should never do to your penis, I want you to pause for a moment. Hit that like button. Why? Because it tells the algorithm this message matters, and more importantly, because I want to send you 3 blessings with it. May your mornings always begin with strength. May your confidence carry you like it did in your prime. And may your partner look at you with the same spark you've been missing. Also, subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss these vital conversations. And type in the comments, just type 1 if this message resonates or 0 if you think I can serve you better. I read every comment. Because the truth is, your future intimacy depends on what you choose today. And it all begins with recognizing the first mistake most men make. One of the most common mistakes I see again and again is men brushing aside the first subtle changes in their erections. Too many say, "Doc, I thought it was just getting older." But let me be clear, fading morning erections, needing more effort to get aroused, or feeling less sensitivity, these are not meaningless quirks of age. They are signals. Your body is whispering that something deeper is happening with your circulation, your nerves, or your hormones. I remember a man named Walter, 68 years old, who waited almost a decade before walking into my office. By then, his erections were nearly gone, and with them much of his confidence. He told me with regret that he wished he had spoken up when the changes first appeared. His story isn't rare. Ignoring these shifts doesn't just risk your sexual health. It can be the earliest warning sign of heart disease or diabetes. Gentlemen, don't wait. If something feels off for more than a few weeks, talk to your doctor. Taking action early can save years of frustration and restore vitality you thought was slipping away. Now, if ignoring the quiet whispers of your body is the first mistake, the next danger comes from the opposite direction. Loud, flashy promises of quick fixes that often cause more harm than good. It may sound simple, even obvious, but neglecting basic hygiene is one of the most overlooked dangers I see in older men. Some tell me, "Doc, I never thought cleaning down there really mattered." Yet the truth is, poor hygiene can quietly erode both your health and your confidence. For uncircumcised men, failing to gently pull back the foreskin and clean underneath allows sweat, bacteria, and dead skin cells to build up. Over time, this can lead to infections, inflammation, even an increased cancer risk. I recall Mr. Harris, a 72-year-old who confessed he avoided intimacy for years because he was ashamed of odor and discomfort. Once he learned the right way to care for himself, his confidence returned almost overnight, and so did his closeness with his wife. Hygiene isn't vanity, it's respect for yourself, for your partner, and for the body that has carried you this far. The fix is simple: mild soap, gentle cleaning, and consistency. Think of it the same way you brush your teeth: small daily effort, big long-term reward. But while poor hygiene slowly chips away at health, there are warning signs no man should ever overlook, signals that shout louder than odor or discomfort, yet too many still ignore. One of the hardest conversations I've had is with men who wait months or even years while their bodies shout for help. Gentlemen, your penis should not hurt. You should never see blood in your urine. You should not feel a lump and tell yourself it's probably nothing. These are not signs of getting older. They are red flags. I remember Mr. Clayton, 67, who noticed blood but kept silent, convinced it would disappear. By the time he finally came in, what could have been treated quickly had grown into a much larger challenge. That delay cost him both peace of mind and months of treatment. Pain, bleeding, or lumps can point to infections, kidney stones, or in the most serious cases, cancer. The longer you wait, the more dangerous it becomes. And carrying that silent worry takes an emotional toll, robbing men of sleep, intimacy, and confidence. True strength isn't silence. True strength is paying attention, seeking help, and taking action before it's too late. If something feels wrong, even slightly, don't delay. Get it checked. Now, while ignoring pain can slowly destroy your health, there's another mistake that causes damage in an instant. A single careless moment in the bedroom that can leave scars lasting far beyond the night. Gentlemen, desperation can make a man believe almost anything. I've seen too many patients hurt themselves by trusting risky home remedies. Ideas picked up from a friend or worse, from the internet. I recall Mr. Daniels, 71, who applied apple cider vinegar directly to his skin after reading it would boost blood flow. Instead, he ended up with painful burns that took months to heal. Another man, Franklin, built a crude device from metal rings, thinking it would make him last longer. What it really did was cut off circulation so badly he needed emergency surgery. These men weren't foolish. They were scared, ashamed, and hungry for solutions. But here's the truth: these so-called fixes don't work. They damage nerves, create scar tissue, and in some cases cause permanent erectile dysfunction. The cruel part is safer and proven solutions were already available: medical guidance, lifestyle changes, and science-backed devices. You don't have to gamble with your body. You don't have to risk permanent harm to reclaim your confidence. And if dangerous home remedies are one trap, another threat is far less dramatic but just as destructive: losing control in the bedroom and turning passion into permanent damage. One of the most shocking injuries I treat is something many men don't even believe exists: a penile fracture. Yes, it's real, and it usually happens in one reckless moment when passion outruns awareness. Picture this: an erect penis bends sharply in the wrong direction. There's a sudden pop, searing pain, and swelling within minutes. I'll never forget Mr. Lawson, 64, who rushed to the ER after such an accident. Surgery repaired the tissue, but he confessed the fear lingered long after the physical wound healed. Every intimate moment carried a shadow of worry. Sex should be passionate, but it should also be mindful. Losing yourself completely without awareness can turn a night of closeness into months of regret. The fix isn't complicated. Use lubrication generously, slow down, and stay connected with your partner. Intimacy isn't a contest of speed, it's about trust, closeness, and presence. Protect your erections, protect your future, and don't let carelessness steal what time has given you. Now, while one careless moment can cause instant damage, there are also quieter habits, things men do alone, that slowly rewire the brain and drain the joy out of intimacy. This is a subject many men hesitate to talk about, but it's one of the most common reasons intimacy fades: aggressive masturbation. Over time, gripping too tightly or relying on one narrow style of stimulation can condition your body in ways you never intended. I met Mr. Alvarez, 66, who sat in my office with tears in his eyes. He told me he could no longer climax with his wife, even though his body still responded alone. What had happened was something we call death grip syndrome. His nerves and brain had adapted to an extreme kind of pressure, so normal touch no longer registered the same way. The frustration weighed on him and his marriage. The good news: your body can adapt in healthier directions too. By slowing down, using lubrication, experimenting with lighter or varied touches, men can retrain sensitivity and rebuild connection. It takes patience, but healing is possible. Gentlemen, the pleasure should connect you, not isolate you. Treat your body with respect and variety, and it will respond with resilience. And if habits in private can rewire the brain, the next mistake attacks even deeper, damaging the very blood vessels that erections depend on and creating risks far beyond the bedroom. Nature designed your testicles to hang outside the body for a reason. They need to stay cooler than your core. Yet many men unknowingly sabotage themselves by exposing this delicate area to too much heat. I remember Mr. Bennett, 70, who loved soaking in his hot tub every night. He thought it was harmless relaxation. Over time, though, his energy dipped, his desire faded, and tests showed his testosterone had fallen lower than ever before. What felt like a soothing ritual was quietly draining the very vitality he wanted to preserve. Hot tubs, long sauna sessions, laptops resting on the lap, even cell phones in the front pocket, all raise the temperature of the testicles beyond what they are built to handle. The damage doesn't happen in a day, but the effect builds. Reduced testosterone, weaker stamina, declining mood, and loss of sexual vitality. The solution is simple. Keep your testicles cool. Wear looser clothing, limit sauna and hot tub time, and never park electronics on your lap for long stretches. Give your body the environment it was designed for, and it will reward you with strength and resilience. But while overheating chips away slowly, there's another danger far more direct. Lifestyle choices that strangle your blood vessels and cut off the very lifeline of your erections. If there's one habit I can tell you with certainty that destroys erections faster than almost anything else, it's smoking. I've watched countless men believe cigarettes were just a small vice, harmless at their age. But smoking works silently, narrowing blood vessels and choking off the very circulation erections depend on. Take Mr. Collins, 72. He came to me convinced his decline was just old age. Tests revealed his arteries were so damaged from decades of smoking that blood could no longer flow properly. He wasn't just facing erectile dysfunction, he was staring at heart disease. And it isn't only cigarettes. Poor diet, heavy drinking, lack of movement, constant stress all combine into a storm that steals vitality. What's heartbreaking is that many men blame themselves, thinking they are simply past their prime, when in truth their habits are robbing them. But here's the good news: change works at any age. I've seen men quit smoking, start walking daily, eat real food, and feel desire and energy return within months. Erections are not separate from health, they are a reflection of it. Protect your body and your intimacy follows. And while lifestyle choices silently close arteries, another mistake happens inside the mind. When men judge themselves harshly and let one bad night turn into months of doubt. One of the most painful mistakes I see isn't physical at all, it's mental. Many men destroy their own confidence by beating themselves up after an off night. The truth is, every man, no matter his age, will face moments when things don't go as planned. Stress, fatigue, or distraction can interrupt intimacy. That's normal. I recall Mr. Edwards, 69, who avoided his wife for months after one disappointing evening. He convinced himself he was broken. That intimacy was gone forever. But what really shut him down wasn't his body, it was his mind. Stress raises cortisol, and cortisol is like kryptonite to erections. The more pressure he put on himself, the worse it became. Gentlemen, one off night does not define you. Your partner values trust, closeness, and affection far more than a flawless performance. When you treat yourself with compassion and talk openly, you break the cycle of stress and shame. The confidence grows not from perfection, but from presence. Don't let one stumble keep you from years of connection. And if self-criticism can quietly sabotage intimacy, the opposite mistake is equally dangerous. Avoiding intimacy altogether, and in the process, letting your body forget how to respond. Erections are like muscles. If you stop using them, you risk losing them. Over the years, I've seen many men slowly drift away from intimacy. Sometimes it's embarrassment, fear of failure, or the belief that sex is only for the young. But avoidance is not harmless. It slowly shuts down the very system you need to keep alive. I remember Mr. Dawson, 74, who hadn't been intimate for nearly a decade. When he finally wanted to reconnect with his partner, his body no longer responded the way it once did. Scar tissue had formed, sensitivity faded, and his confidence was shaken. His regret was deep not because of age but because of lost years. Regular intimacy, whether through touch, closeness with a partner, or even gentle self-stimulation, keeps blood flowing, tissue responsive, and confidence intact. It isn't just about sex, it's about vitality, presence, and feeling alive as a man. Gentlemen, don't let shame or fear rob you of what still belongs to you. Keep showing your body it matters and it will continue to respond. Now, I've shared the science and stories, but I also read every comment you leave. And today, I want to pause and answer some of your real questions because your voices are as important as my advice. Gentlemen, I promised you I read the comments, and today I want to take a moment to answer some of your questions from the last video. Question 1, Dr. Prescott, I'm 62. I only miss morning erections once in a while. Do I need to worry? Answer, missing one here and there is natural, but if the change lasts for weeks, it's your body whispering. That's the time to check in with your doctor. Question 2, Doc, I smoked for 40 years. Is it too late for me? Answer, absolutely not. I've seen men in their 70s quit smoking and feel energy and desire return in months. The sooner you stop, the more life you gain back. Question 3, skeptical. You just want to scare us into buying pills, don't you? Answer, I smile when I read this. No, friend, my goal isn't to sell you anything. It's to help you keep what money can't buy: your confidence, intimacy, and dignity. Question 4, my wife says my laptop on my lap is hurting me. Is she right, or does she just want me to pay attention to her? Answer, she's right on both counts. Heat does hurt your vitality, and yes, you should pay more attention to her too. Question 5, is testosterone gel the best solution for everyone? Answer, no. For some men it's helpful, for others it carries risks. It must be tested and prescribed, never used blindly. Your voices matter. And keep the questions coming because they shape these conversations. Now, before we close, let me leave you with one final word of encouragement. A reminder that growing older doesn't mean losing yourself. Gentlemen, needing to change your habits does not mean you are broken. It means you are wise enough to protect what matters most. Confidence, connection, and dignity do not fade with age. They grow when you honor your body. If this message spoke to you, tap that like button. Every click tells me you're standing up for your health. May your mornings carry strength, may your evenings hold peace, and may your partner see in you the man you still are. Leave me a comment, share your story, your questions, even your doubts. I read them all, and many of them shape the very videos we create together. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and share this video with a friend. You never know whose life you might change with a single share. Your future can still be full of vitality. The choice is in your hands today.